Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron. Got some Papa John Creech on the platter. I've got a little bit of a hybrid off the triumvirate of taps here at Third Generation Brewing. Over here, Tangerine IPA. Got that tangerine flavor and that hop bitterness. Over here, we've got a nice light ale County K ale. So I just put a little bit of the tangerine in the bottom. We topped her off with a light ale. Just that little interesting twang. That's what I'm looking for today. Yes. That is actually really good mixed in that ratio. Mental note. But yeah, I was out at the bar this weekend. You may have heard about that if you watched my last episode. But a lot of interesting things. And the funny thing with me is my memory is actually really great. But when I've been drinking, things start coming back to me like in pieces over the course of a week. Sometimes that's great because like, oh my God, this was an amusing anecdote from an old friend. And sometimes it's, oh shit, did those people invite me over to eat with them and then I went like two-handed into their appetizers? Like, oh, that might have happened. But anyway, yeah, starting to get pieces back in as the week is going. And my nephew was at the bar and he was asking me questions about beer because he's like, hey, this is great. I got a uncle that knows this shit. He can just answer whatever questions I got, and you don't have to spend all day with the almighty Google. Well, apparently, get a few drinks in me, get me on a subject I like, and boy, I just start going. My sister's boyfriend said, God, listen to you talking, like you should, we gotta get you on the radio or something. And I'm like, well, that's already been a thing. So I said, yeah, getting to the radio now is kind of like getting into making horseshoes, horse and buggy, a haberdasher. Maybe it would be the same as if I walked in and went to my family. I've decided to go to school to become a haberdasher. And clearly I've got the hats. But, so I said, well, there's podcast is really the way that's going. He's, well, you should do that. And I said, well, I got Drinks with Ron, but it's not the same when you've got a person there. It's that back and forth. But really what it comes down to is having something that you're passionate about. Because when you're hammered and you really like something, that just comes off. What's something I'm passionate about? Well, legalization, number one. So thankfully we've got that Delta 8. It's not cannabis, it's hemp. It's just regular old rope. So yeah, this is a little end around the law. Totally legal here. Not a thing. Hemp, no problem. Cannabis, totally illegal. They got the same chemical in them? Nah, almost. It's a little bit different. So this one's not written into law. Well, I started thinking about it, and I thought, said this buddy in lacrosse, Melzy. He's been in many episodes by reference. Tastes like rope dough. Damn, that's not great. But anyway, Melzy was great at not even so much telling stories, but he'd tell you about a movie or a show, and he'd get so fucking into it. One time he was telling me about this movie with what's the dude's name? With the one eye that's kind of... Oh man, I'm gonna draw a total blank on this guy now. Anyway, God damn, I can see his face. This is killing me. It's killing me. Can't blame this either. I just split it up, so short-term memory be damned. Any hoodles, it was a movie where a dude was a some variety of ninja bent on revenge. Forrest Whitaker, goddamn, there it was. Forrest Whitaker's a fucking ninja. It's called like Dog or Ghost Dog or something like that. I don't know. It's been nearly 20 years since he just told me about this movie in a bar. And while I don't remember any of the thing that happened, almost 20 years later, I'm still remembering Melzi at the bar going, blah, 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 and then sword, and then, like, he did full on, laying, like, when he was done, he's like, I want to see this fucking movie. Put it to you this way. I have never liked anime. Back before I knew it was called anime. I just remember, you know, all the characters had giant eyeballs and their mouths were either huge or tiny, and then they talked in a cadence where they went up and down, and I hated it. I was like, what is this shit? Melzi was so passionate describing how this works and the backstory and people's powers and what's... By the time this guy had spent a couple months on this whole Dragon Ball tear, just kind of explaining it and going blah 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 and blah and explosion. This guy comes in power and do 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 do. And like you're sitting there drinking a High Life, and I'm just fucking sitting in the bar watching. Like this is great. I actually started watching fucking anime. Not only anime, fucking Dragon Ball, which was the thing I openly said. Oh, I'll never be watching that. Oh, you walking into my house and seeing me sitting on the couch watching Dragon Ball? That's not a thing you gotta worry about, brother. Until it was. But it's crazy. He was so passionate and so into it that I'm gonna fucking give this a shot. Well, now I understand it, you know. Which makes a big difference. Something like that, it's hard to kind of jump in the middle and be like, what the fuck's going on? But then I started thinking, shit, what even am I passionate enough about that I could get into a groove like that? And I thought, well, I think we've already covered a couple episodes on this. I'd do a few more. Passionate? Yeah, I could probably just do my web series on it where I bitch about the double standards and the screwy and racist history of the drug laws in this country. But I'm here to entertain, man. So I'll back off of that. I can get fairly passionate about politics. It's important. It's how people's lives get fucking governed, how we decide how we do things, how we go forward as a unit. Okay, I'm not going to get dragged off into that either because I'm here to entertain. But another thing is, the music. I get passionate about some music, my friend. I just Papa John Creech. Fucking love this album. I've turned so many people on to this guy. Now, how many of them actually have files of this guy or stream him? It probably ain't very many. But I got a lot of people that if I played a couple of his songs in the background, they would start whistling along, man. See why I have it filed under funky? That fucking fiddle, man. And I believe he played with Jefferson Starship? He was with Jefferson Airplane? I think it might have been Jefferson Airplane. I don't know. Too many of them fucking Jeffersons. They fucking mutated. Airplane, Starship, just Starship. Oh, man. That's terrible. Watching that evolution from like 60s hippie radical to like 1980s fucking straight edge shoulder pads, fucking all angular and like, as George Carlin said, from cocaine to Rogaine. That's another thing I get passionate on, stand-up comedy. I love watching somebody work, man. Carlin's probably my favorite. Louis C.K. That man's probably number 2 on my list. You still got guys like Chappelle, Richard Pryor, Jesus, Mitch Hedberg for me. That's a guy always made me laugh. The classics, Lenny Bruce. I wasn't a big Lenny Bruce guy. I knew that he was significant. I didn't really... It's one of those things like, so what? If you listen to what he's doing, it's like, it's not standard. But that's it. The shit that he did, it's like the Beatles, like fucking Sgt. Pepper. You listen to that now and it's like, this is what people lost their shit over? Like, no, because after that, everybody else changed their shit trying to sound like that. So now this sounds like fucking industry standard fucking patter. No. The rest of that shit's just copycats. I mean, eventually the copycats might start doing shit better, but you've turned the road. Same way I felt about Bill Hicks. People love Bill Hicks. I listened to him and I was like, yeah, everybody's doing that. Yeah, but they weren't before Bill Hicks. Him and Lenny Bruce, I think, are huge in that. And I don't want to sound like fucking hipster, fucking new wave comedy guy. Yeah, man, Lenny Bruce, fucking. But seriously, I've got my dad's old Lenny Bruce album. I played it 2 or 3 times. I mean, part of it's getting through the cadence. He's got a little bit of a cadence and an accent, so hard to understand him. And he does the thing that I've noticed Carlin picked off a lot, where he'll just kind of shift a voice and now he's another character. Well, now he's back to this other character. But then just totally ignores it and moves on to the next thing. So it can be this thing where in 5 seconds he's done 3-4 quick voices. You're supposed to have picked up that these were other people, now we're on to the next thing. But yeah, to hear him and then realize how everything was an evolution off of there. I love that Lenny Bruce album. He actually closes the fucking thing down with a quote from, I think, one of the Nazis in the Nuremberg trial. You're just like, what the fuck? But, yeah, I mean, it was basically saying, you know, I'm not even gonna do it. See what I mean? Papa John Creech. Oh, Hot Tuna. That was another band he was in. I'm not familiar with them. I know of the name, but yeah, my man's been all around, and I really love his shit. Funky as fuck. Those keys, just you know, the 70s guitar in there. That bass, I don't even know. Sometimes I swear they're not enough right bass in this band, but yeah. Anyway, I guess that's the takeaway. That's the wheelhouse of things that I'm passionate about. And drinks, and beer, things I could ramble on about all night. Perhaps professional wrestling, maybe 90s baseball. But those things start to bottleneck. As they go on, the interest fades. But I could still, you get 9 or 12 beers in me. Yeah, we'll start talking about Domingo Ramos, Luis Salazar, Doug DeCenzo. Hate to be Cub heavy, but man, that's my jam. Gary Varsho, like him. Scott Stahoviak. That's a little later. Talking early. Anyway, I think we're about done, and I think I've managed to expertly avoid the wrath of Todd. No, sir, not today. No dollar for you in the Todd Fine bucket. I am going to finish this bad boy time to spare. Of course, it helps when I'm holding the timer. You kind of move those goalposts. A lot of that going on now, so you know I'm okay with it. Well, there she blows. So, for Drinks with Ron, my hybrid off the triumvirate of taps, and my Delta 8 hemp dubage, I'm Ron, signing off.